A new week, a new set of PTR patch notes. Now let's scroll down and see if there's any Havoc change. Really hoping there's stuff. Okay, Mythic Plus, classes. Demon Hunter, Havoc. Yeah, so, I mean, if you click on this video, you obviously know that I'm not very happy with what Havoc's been going through on the 10.1 PTR. Now, the video intro thing was like a week old, whatever, but that is the only blue post we've gotten to date about Havoc Demon Hunter besides tier set changes, and the tier set's another beast completely. I'll touch on that later. Honestly, I love Havoc. It's such a great spec. But I'm very disappointed about how 10.1 PTR cycle has been handled for it. There are a ton of issues in the spec itself. Lots of people are being forced, well, not forced, but are re-rolling away because of some of these issues. Shout out to Fiesta, the Demon Hunter Discord, very prominent guy in the community. He would prefer not to play Havoc next tier because of some of the issues. So I really do think there are some things that can change Havoc for the best. There are some viability issues next tier. There's a lot of things I think right now that are making me a bit doomer with Havoc. I'm going to play it still. I'm going to make content still. It's still very fun. I just think that I'm not very excited with how this 10.1 PTR cycle has been handled. And today I want to just share my thoughts with you guys about that. Again, you know, like the content, leave a sub, drop a like, drop a comment, all that jazz. Double check that you're subbed. YouTube kind of recommends stuff and you're not always subbed. But with that, we're going to get into it. We're going to start with the feedback thread in the Demon Hunter Discord. Just going to show some of the things that I do think Havoc can improve on. And then we'll go from there. So I will be back. Alright, so I'm here in the Havoc Discord. Shout out to the mods and everybody, Atreyan, Rev, Shatterak, even Jedith, for all the work they've done compiling this feedback. I did a video similar to this. Not all the feedback's the same, but a lot of it is very similar. A few weeks ago, if you want to check that out, if you haven't yet. But otherwise, you know, I do think that really anything in tier 1 can really be something that's changed. Like, look at all of these things. So, I don't know. I do think that Havoc is the best state it's been in, right? But just because something is the best it's been doesn't mean it's amazing. And I do think there's tons of issues. So, for instance, Momentum, I don't personally have an issue with it, but it's really one of the biggest divisive talents in the game, right? Like, people either love it or hate it, and it's really, really forcing a ton of people to reroll off this spec. Havoc is the most popular spec in the game. And tons of people, after playing Momentum for a tier, are honestly not very excited about it. Me personally, I like the talent as an idea, but the reward is really just kind of lacking there. It's been watered down so much that doing all this movement, all that things for like a 5% damage buff that's not even up all the time, I just don't think their payoff is that fun. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze, so to speak. You know, you gotta put a lot of work into just this really small minor payoff. That's my gripes with it. I know a lot of people just kind of don't like the movement aspect of it, but that's kind of whatever. I think my biggest issues with the class are kind of the next few. So Isolated Prey, by itself is good, but the fact that it works just natively with Fodder to the Flame, it just kind of turns off whenever your demon randomly spawns is a big issue to me. Also, if you're trying to play no mover, Isolated Prey forces you to move in single target, which again, I don't have an issue with movement, but I do think that there should be a build that doesn't use movement. Fodder is just so RNG, it's very feast or famine. Like, the difference between it happening and not happening for your opening window is so big that I just don't think it's very good to have in our tree. The healing is nice, it has a bit of a skill ceiling, but again, like, it turning off IP and it just being so RNG is not fun. Our utility being locked in the class tree I don't think is very good either. They're really inaccessible. You have to drop a ton of throughput. Initiative not working whenever the boss kind of randomly ticks you. Like, I'm progging Raz right now and I'm normally pretty good about it, but even occasionally, you know, you vengeful retreat and initiative won't proc, right? So I don't think that being good is in the game. We're really weak on single target. I also like our damage being so swingy because of critical strikes are just all kind of major gripes I have and the community has with the class that just aren't being addressed at all. Like, I'm not even asking for anything crazy like the ret rework, right? I'm just asking for a little bit here and there. Make Isolated Prey or Fodder the Flame interact a little bit better, free up our stuff in the class tree, our utility, buff our single target a little bit. The next raid is not looking very great for us because of how single target focused it is and because of how weak we are on single target. They nerfed Chaos Strike and the primary target thing of Blade Dance First Blood a while ago, and I don't know why we needed that. We were never that crazy on single target, and now we're just really weak with it, and we're not even looking that, like, if you look at Taros, I'll throw Taros logs up on the screen right now. Obviously it's a movement fight, whatever, but it's the most patchwork this raid. Havoc's not good. we're down towards the bottom. And that's going to be basically every fight next tier. Now, our tier set's an issue with that. I'll touch on that later. Windwalker won't be down there with us anymore because their single target got buffed. And also their tier set's insane. Their tier set is crazy. Ours is not good. And I'll get there later. Tier 2 stuff is whatever. Obviously, I want stuff changed. And then just none of these bugs are are affected either. Like, we've been told that Chaos Theory is going to be fixed. And again, I'm recording this on Tuesday the 11th, as you can see in the bottom right. So if some class changes come in on the Wednesday, I post this, then I'm an idiot. But like, there's so many things that could be done to improve Havoc that we've given, that we know the dev has seen. And there's just nothing. There's silence, literally radio silence. Not even a bit of an update, a little bit of a being like, oh, hey, we heard your plights, whatever, we're working on some stuff, or hey, we don't think that these are an issue. Like, not even back and forth, but what they think about Havoc. There's just been radio silence, static, nothing. And that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. The Havoc community is large. It's one of the largest communities in World of Warcraft. Community I'm very proud to be a part of, to be a voice of even at this point. And to have us just sit here week after week after week with nothing, not even a slight change besides our tier set going up and down, and then nerfing our old tier set to make us use the new one because it's not good, is just disappointing. There's tons of stuff here. And like, I'm not even doing an in-depth guide here. Jedith did one. I did a different kind of video a while ago. I'm just disappointed with how things are shaping up. That's not even to mention the tier set. So I think I want to jump on the tier set now and just kind of rail that one home a bit about why I'm disappointed on that. So I want to take this segment and kind of just talk about our tier set. So our tier set in 10.1 is definitely one of the big issues I have just going into it. Now, I don't think we're at the point where our tier set will be changed design-wise. It'll just be tuning values, but I'm just bored. It's, so to quote what Revatha, Project Potato, in the Demurder Discord has said, our tier sets for Havoc have always kind of just been the same thing recycled. It's all about Blade Dance, I-Beam, or Chaos Strike. I think there's a picture he had, so shout out to him. I'll throw it up if I can find it. Basically, every single tier we've had has been revolved around one of those things. I think the one we didn't was in the one we got from Season 3 of Shadowlands, and that one was Chaos Strike / Blade Dance, as well as some CDR, which was a Legion Legendary. So our tier sets are just kind of boring. They've never really been exciting. And I think our 10.1 tier set is really just exemplary of that, right? Like, it's boring. We just get a passive agility bonus whenever we spend Fury, and then those stacks make our I-Beams bigger. And incredibly passive. It doesn't change our rotation or how we play at all. It doesn't change anything at all. And I just don't think it achieves really anything that makes me want to be like, hey, I have this cool new tier set. I want to rush out and grab this because it makes my class so fun and enjoyable, and I really feel the impact. You don't feel the impact. You actually feel it less than you do of the current one, because the current one buffs are Blade Dance, right? Our Death Sweeps. And you can feel when you hit like a 500,000k Death Sweep crit. You can feel that. But I-Beam just passively doing more damage. There's so many little random numbers on my screen. I don't even notice that it's doing more until the end of the dungeon, and I look and I-Beam's like 10% of my damage now instead of, I don't know, like 6 or something, for example. So I just think there's a lot left on the table there. Not to mention its tuning. So it started off in a weird state where we didn't really know which value it was. But the blue post said it was every 200 Fury we get, I think it was 15 Fury, or it might have been 10, something like that. 15 Fury and a 12 stacking up to 5 of I-Beam increase. That's just bad. It's now 175, 15, and 15, I think. It could even go to 16, 20, and 20, honestly, or 175, 20, and 20. I think it'd be fine. It's just weak. It's like 8% or something like that. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's less than our current tier set is at equal eye level. Now they're nerfing our next tier set. You saw that in the intro of the video, so we're gonna have to use it. But it's just uninspired. It achieves one thing in the fact that it's build neutral, right? Like AMN builds hit 5 stacks, where Shadow Destiny builds don't. But to offset that, they get more buffed I-Beam. So it's kind of the same for both sets. It doesn't really push us either way, which is fine. But I'm really hoping that we have some more number adjustments to this, and that in 10.2 we get an exciting tier set. None of our tier sets have been that crazy, right? They've just kind of been passive bonuses. Nothing really that exciting. Since I played Havoc, I didn't play back in League. I started playing towards the end of BFA. Just never been an exciting tier set since they brought them back. All 3 of them were just really passive. So I'm really hoping something along that line changes. There are so many cool tier sets that change how people play the way. So many cool tier sets you can feel, and ours is just boring, left down at the bottom. not strong, it's not exciting. So I'm really hoping they change that. Really just kind of, again, bit of a sad boy hour video. I'm just disappointed with what's been happening with it so far. So the PTR is down as the moment I'm making this video, so I'm chilling in front of Vault because it's the current raid. But to end off the video, I do want to do a brief, small touch on Havoc right now, looking at the next tier. So spoilers if you don't want to talk about next tier yet. I'll do a more in-depth video later. This will be quick. But the next raid is looking very ST focused. And to circle back to that, the Discord I was looking at, Havoc's single target is not good. It's not good at all. So I'm a little worried about what's going to happen to us in the next tier. Our tier set being bad doesn't help. Basically almost every single boss, there's like one ad fight and a few fights with like 2-target cleave, and then 2 fights with like a few like burst 2-target cleave, I guess I should say. Like it's like sporadic, it's not there the full time. So very, very single target focused. 2-target cleave and single target is not a niche we're very good at all. Really not at all. We're very poor. So I'm a little worried with the kind of design issues that Havoc has had, unaddressed by the way, with kind of the tier set tuning. I'm a bit worried. I am dooming, I guess, but hey, I'll Havoc's do it. But it's not like I don't think Havoc's gonna be usable. Everything's gonna be playable. I think it's gonna be very strong in M+ still. I'm just a little worried with the direction, and a little more honestly worried with just kind of the lack of design feedback, lack of dev feedback, and just we've all been saying we want to see these things change. We've had all this feedback thread. We've had good discussions in the Discord, and just nothing coming of it, and I'm disappointed about it. So that's gonna be it for the video today. Just kind of me talking, I guess. Just kind of me chatting, being disappointed, all that stuff. So if you like it, leave a like. Drop a comment below. What are you frustrated about? What are you disappointed about? What do you want to see change? Maybe you don't think any changes need to happen. And am I fine with Havoc going live the way it is? Yeah, I'd still play it. It's still fun, but I do think we have issues, and I do think there could be some beneficial changes. Again, drop a sub if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoy your Wednesday. Another video out Friday, and I'll see you guys around. So peace.